Hey, I'm Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. And I want us to talk about fasting. So the last video was about grieving, and we're gonna go straight into fasting. I asked on both of my Instagrams what people wanted to hear, and I let them vote. And a lot of people voted on fasting, which I love. I wanted to fast from alcohol. My birthday is in like 2 weeks, so I mean that's kind of not gonna happen. But I'm still going to find something to fast from because I definitely think it's necessary for us to give something up with a positive intention. I grew up in private school, I grew up in Catholic school, so we always practice giving something up for Lent. And we're in Lent season right now, so I still want to find something to give up. I'm still working on it, but a lot of things that I can generally put out are like alcohol, red meats, beef, pork. I said alcohol. For some people, it'll be sex. We're gonna be adults and be honest. Yeah, like we all know like the vices that we deal with on a daily. I feel like feelings of desires of the flesh are something that a lot of people deal with. So that's why I said sex, because a lot of people, especially in this generation, we've normalized lust. And I'm not saying lust didn't exist in other generations, but I feel like we've gotten more comfortable with what the outcomes of lust, I would say. So I think it's very powerful when I see different women talk about being celibate. I think that's such a powerful stance to take. And obviously, a lot of people go without sex. All of us do, whatever. But like, when you make the intention, I think that's a lot different. And it has more meaning behind it, because you're holding yourself to a certain standard with a certain intention for a certain reason. And most of the time it's to grow closer with God. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people share their body without real intention. And I think that's been normalized a lot. And it's like, this is not like a slut shaming page or anything like that. I do not have that view on sex, women, whatever. I'm here for sexual liberation, etc. But I really want us to be intentional with our spirit. And that goes with exchanging our energies. And what more intimate way is there for to exchange energy than sex? So I think when a lot of people take that stance to be celibate, it means a whole lot. I admire it. I love it. I'm sitting with it right now. And it's good. Like, it's such a great space to be in. It allows you to get closer to God. I feel like a lot of times, we use our bodies to get close to people, and it doesn't really resonate with our spirit. Meaning, you can lay down with someone, but you still may not feel close to them, or they can still be hiding things from you, or they can be putting a lot of deception between you two. But there is no space that you have to put between you and God. The clarity that you will have when you're not clouded by desires of the flesh, I think, is so special and unique, and it's something to really seek and pride yourself on. It's not to say that you can't have fun, we're young, whatever, but I really want us to just be intentional with situations we put ourselves into, and how we share our bodies and our, unique experiences, period. And so again, fasting, it can be food, just anything. But I really think it's important for us to set the intention, right? Like, I am giving this up with the intention to blah, blah, blah. And that's going to be unique for everyone, because we all have different goals. We all have different experiences. We are in different parts of our journey. Some people may start to feel like red meat is just heavy for them right now. Beef may be heavy for them right now. The people giving up sex, they're not being fulfilled in their intimate experiences right now, like, or their intimate relationships. Giving up alcohol, you may feel like you're drinking too much, you're partying too much. There's no fulfillment there. And I really want us to dig deep and figure out, again, what makes us happy. We all deserve to be happy. Not just existing on this plane, not just surviving, but actually seeking real happiness. I want all of us to find it. I want all of us to seek it. I want that to be a goal if we're not already there. And I think fasting is just a way for us to really get clear. Get clear. God gives us clarity. The enemy is the orchestrator of confusion. So, I think if we give something up, it helps us get some more clarity on what we want, where we're going, where we're at, what we need. And God is all up and through that, When you look at the Bible, fasting is something that is not new to us at all. And like, again, it just helps us get closer to God. So I really do want us to collectively pick different things we're going to fast about. If we're going to really make this a community, tell me the things you want to fast from. Let's talk about it. I'll share what I'm thinking about fasting from, what I'm trying to do. Because I really want us to grow together. I really want us to be able to be vulnerable and like have a judgment-free zone and really seek God in an intimate way and share our unique experiences so we can help lift each other up and like literally be the best version of ourselves. Like, that's all I want. Like, I feel like that is what God is using me for. So fasting from like, I ain't gonna lie, I can say this because like when we think about vices and stuff, we think about like the deadly sins and stuff. But like for me, like pride is a deadly sin, right? So what is a piggyback of pride for Ash is her attitude. Like, I have an attitude that could take up a whole room. I can't even lie. Like, I can change the environment of a room. And I am not ashamed of that. And I won't say I'm the proudest of it either. It just is what it is thing. But I really want to learn how to navigate my experiences without bringing that energy. And I swear, my attitude has been like that since a little girl. Like, I can remember getting in trouble in school and, like, them telling me about rolling my eyes and, like, being passive aggressive. And, like, I just was a little smart ass. So even if I had something to say and I couldn't say it straight up, I'm going to still say it. Excuse me, like, you going to know how Ash feeling. And, like, I never cared. But I'm learning that there's better ways to communicate. And there is all different forms of communication, which is something, again, they've been telling me since a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to say something without communicating. Like, if you roll your eyes, that's a communication. Like, if you have a posture like you don't care, that's a communication. And I've always been dismissive, like, when I don't want to hear something. So I really just want to work on how I communicate with people directly and indirectly. I want to be intentional. I want to always be professional. You catch more flies with honey. So I really do want to be a person that people don't mind communicating with, no matter the circumstance. And it's not to say that I'm going to just tolerate disrespect, but I just want to be the best version of myself. And I want to be the version of myself that God is asking me to be. So to show up completely, I do want to kind of, I don't know if this even makes sense, but fast from my little outbursts, my little ways, sometimes my ways could be, you ever have ways about yourself that you're just like, you're giving yourself the ick? I feel like that sometimes. Like, I feel like my attitude could be really big. And I hate it. And I hate when I realize that my attitude rubs somebody wrong and I'm changing, like, the atmosphere or, like, the environment or the vibe, Because that's never my intention. So I really want to, lean away from being so prideful, so ego-filled, I think when you step away from your ego, you can really have some humility and just kind of have a kinder way of communicating with people without being so boastful or like in your face, if that makes sense. Because I feel like there's certain things that God is okay with, but there's certain things that God did not ask me to do, and I could take it far if I want to. So I kind of want to give up just living in my ego. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I'm just like an egocentric person, but I can see where my ego plays a part in certain things that I say, certain experiences that I've had, certain ways that I've communicated with people. So I want to change that because, again, we're trying to be the best version of ourselves. We want to be open to different connections, relationships, opportunities, and, your attitude can get in the way with that. And I really just have no intentions of allowing that to happen. I want to grow. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be kinder to people. I want to be nicer to people. I want to, create a community where people feel welcome. And the way for me to do that is to learn how to communicate effectively. So I hope that made sense. And again, I want you guys to tell me what you want to fast from. What are things that you feel like you're negatively dealing with? I know for a lot of us, drinking has just been normalized, like drinking all the time, honestly. And I'm from New Orleans, so that's really a thing. Like, everybody drinks all the time. So for me, of course, I don't drink every day. I don't believe in that. I did have me a good time through the Mardi Gras break and stuff, but I really, really, really going forward, like I had told myself before, it's like my throat dry, but I wanted to have like one drink per week, if that. Not saying every week I need a drink, but if I was having a drink, it was one. Because, when I went to my OB in the summer, she said a drink is a drink, honey. People try to talk about wine and, liquor from like champagne, and it's all liquor. Like, it's all alcohol. That's what your body sees it as. It's synthesized through the liver the exact same way. So it doesn't matter what kind of alcohol there was. It's more about how much you consumed. So I really want us to make healthy choices, not just based on our comfort level, not just based on, oh, I never felt bad when I did that, or I've been doing that. Sometimes the things you've been doing have not been a good habit. And it's okay to check yourself and be like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do this forever. Because once you see different problems that people in your family are dealing with, historically, people in your community, period, that look like you, there's a time for us all to be accountable and make better decisions to not deal with the different ailments or diseases that may run in our families. And it starts with you. You know what I'm saying? So again, I want us to talk about what we're going to fast from, like what we're trying to give up, why we're trying to give up, how it makes us feel, what makes it hard. We can check in like daily. Again, y'all can follow me on Instagram. It's Miss Bonita, MISS, Bonita with 3 I's, 4 A's. And I want us to be able to openly communicate. I want us to be able to talk about the challenges we're having. And I want us to really dig deep. You know what I'm saying? Because fasting is not easy, but it is possible. And you can fast from food, period. Some people do like dry fast. Excuse me. Etc. Now for me, I cannot not eat. I don't really see that for myself. Like, yeah. Like, I mean, I guess I could because there's nothing that I can't do. But that's a challenge. That's a big one. And I know we embrace challenges here, but, ooh, I get hangry. Like, I've tried to do liquid fast in the past. And, honey, I get hangry. Like, I be hungry. Like, it is a problem. The fact that I'm yawning and my throat is dry just speaks volumes to the fact that I have to take my makeup off, take a shower, and lay my black ASS down. But I really wanted us to check in. I want to make sure I made our videos going into Monday. I want to make sure that I stay on track and I keep building this community and connection with y'all and just stay consistent so we can keep going forward. I really believe in this channel. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in what God has ministered into my heart. And so I'm just going to be open and keep doing what he's asking me to do. I say that again to say that fasting is really a good way for us to get centered and to sacrifice. And like I've said before, sacrifice is an essential part of our progression in life, period. We don't always get to indulge and enjoy pleasures, I think a lot of times we have made excuses for us to excessively enjoy different pleasures just because it gives us pleasure. But everything that gives you pleasure isn't good for you. And anything in too much excess is never good for you. So a lot of times you have to get some checks and balances. And I think fasting is a way for us to put things that we've been doing in check and finding a balance. Because removing something really creates a space for us to understand the relationship we had with whatever it was we took away, how we miss it, why we miss it, were we using it to fill a void? Was it something that we were consciously understanding the relationship we had with said habit, thing, food, etc.? When you take it away, the brain works in a way where we try to understand what it is that we're missing. And sometimes you try to replace things. It'll really allow space for you to, break down what your relationship was or is with whatever you've given up, which is a great way, again, to check yourself, create boundaries, create a balance, understand the patterns that you've created. Again, the relationship you have with said thing, food, sometimes maybe you want a burger every time you're sad. Sometimes you can create those patterns. Maybe, you desire sex when you're lonely. Like, people create those patterns. So it's really good to remove certain things, habits, desires off the table, because again, we have learned to excessively indulge, because as an adult, there's no one to tell you that you can't do anything. Like maybe you have a parent that tries to tell you stuff, but realistically, there's no one that can make you do or not do anything. So it's up to us to be accountable and hold ourselves accountable and actually, create those checks and balances and boundaries to not put ourselves in positions where we're doing things that just aren't kind to ourselves and aren't conducive to being the best version of ourselves. So again, I really want us to share what we're trying to fast from, what we want to give up, what the goals are, what you're struggling with in this season, what Lent looks like for you. If you believe in Lent, if you're doing it like just because you think it's a good way to fast, like let me know. Again, I want us to have an open discussion back and forth. So like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. It's Miss Bonita, MissBonita. So Miss Bonita, and Bonita has 3 I's, 4 A's, and I will put my TikTok down in the description. So I'll see you guys next time, and we're going to continue to have these uncomfortable conversations because we want to be the best versions of ourselves. So check in next time. I appreciate you guys if you stayed this long watching.